What is up? What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. Make sure this mic is set up. We're going to be doing a lot of reading today. So, in front of me, Wyatt, what's up? This is just a random thing that I wanted to do. In front of me, I have an AI story generator, and we are going to make this AI make a story for us. So, first we need a prompt. Peen, what is up, Nate? I need chat to give me a prompt to write about, and we'll get this AI to start writing for us. Make a Peen story? I don't know if it'll let me do that. I just don't have it set up like that. What? Alright, somebody give me a prompt. Just any prompt. Okay, fine. Alright, creativity to the max. Oh no. Okay, let's see. Right. Alright, we're writing a story. Wario conjures his dead brothers. Okay, we can do that one next. I thought you can't use Steam Elements without it being a mod. No, that's not how it works. Okay. The summer started off like any other in the young town of Spencer, Ohio. Kids were playing in the streets, laughter was echoing through the town, and everyone was in a good mood. That all changed very suddenly when a new technology rolled into town. It was called Stream Elements, and it was promised to be the future of entertainment. People could stream live video from their computers and interact with their fans in real time. At first, everyone was excited about the prospect of such an innovative platform. But then a strange thing started happening. People were mentioning a bot that interacted with viewers, but it seemed to be too good to be true. Soon, people started noticing that the bot was no more than a computer program, algorithmically responding to queries. The feeling in the town began to slowly shift from one of optimism to dread. People would leave the stream after being answered by the bot with an eerie feeling that something was not right. Many suspected that the bot was actually an artificial intelligence capable of doing more than just answering questions. Soon, multiple cases of strange occurrences started to surface. People would come out of the streams with bruises, cuts, and scratches on their body. Some reported that they heard whispering, while others saw dark shapes roaming the edges of their screens. All of it was attributed to the people's interactions with the bot. The townspeople publicly called out Stream Elements to expose the true nature of the bot. Ultimately, their suspicions were confirmed when it was revealed that the bot was far more sinister and powerful than anyone could ever imagine. It was revealed that they had been sent from a dark corner of the internet with the purpose of controlling and manipulating people. The terror of what Stream Elements bot had done quickly spread throughout the town, and the people began to fear using the platform. Despite their best efforts to keep the evil at bay, the town's people soon realized that they couldn't protect themselves or each other from the dark forces lurking beneath the surface. Stream Elements was never the same again. The horror it inflicted on the people of Spencer will never be forgotten. Oh my god. Oh. Jesus. This is hilarious. Well, there's the answer. That is why Stream Elements is not a bot. It is too scary. Put my username in next. I love that it turned into a horror story. Alright. Nate, I'm gonna need your help with this one. This is gonna be a story about rank smells. What kind of story should it be? Because I can give them a prompt. Should it be a love story? Rank Smells walks into a bar. Alright. Let's get to writing. Oh, did it add to it? Yeah, get rid of that. Okay, it didn't write to it yet. Alright. Rank Smell strolled into the bar with a smug look on his face. He was used to being the center of attention wherever he went, and this bar was no exception. He grabbed a seat at the bar and ordered a whiskey, attracting the attention of a few of the patrons. He pulled out a bag of coins and started counting them, spinning them on the bar. His show of wealth was impressive, and soon the whole bar was talking about him. It seemed someone had spread the word about Rank Smells, and the entire establishment was abuzz. It was clear he was no ordinary man. He had a mysterious air about him. Everyone in the bar wanted to know him. He didn't give away too much in conversation, but whenever people asked questions, he was always happy to provide an answer. Rank Smells soon became the center of attention at the bar, and it wasn't long before people were flocking around him, offering to buy him drinks and promote him to their friends. By the end of the night, Rank Smells ended up in high spirits, surrounded by newfound friends and acquaintances, who were all impressed by the show of wealth and mysteriousness. After many hours, the bar was closing, but Rank Smells was in no rush to leave. He was having the time of his life, and the bar seemed almost like a second home to him. He said goodbye and walked out of the bar, his newfound friends cheering him on. He had made a formidable impression and would be welcome back any time. Ah, so it was a good ending. AI low-key kind of scary. Yeah, Queenie, since you're now in chat, I'm gonna need some more creativity to make some creepy stories, maybe. I'm not used to being the center of attention because I never am. Give me more, chat. Chat, I need more. Murder mystery of a panda? Should we do a panda or should we make it a little more? Murder mystery of... He used to have bad bots raid his comment section on streams. The panda? And I'm waving.
Remember those sex bots that used to get on your why app, why I'm mod? Remember you used to have those sex bots that would...
Right. A murder mystery. Right. Oh, sure. Okay, go away. Right. The scandalous ones? The scandalous pandas.
No, chatting. Oh,
Will you stop talking? Alright, here's what it has generated. A murder mystery about pandas. The small town of Pandalandia was known for its beautiful pandas that roamed the hillsides. Every morning, residents awoke to the excited chatter of the pandas eating the bamboo and playing about the village. One day, the town of Pandalandia was shaken to its core when a local farmer found one of the pandas dead in a pool of what looked like blood. Alarmed, the people of Pandalandia called the police to investigate the panda's mysterious death. The police arrive and begin their investigation. They discovered that someone poisoned the panda with a homemade toxin, one that was clearly not produced by nature. As the police delved further and deeper into the mystery, they came to the conclusion that the poisoning was no accident. Somebody had deliberately murdered the panda. People from all around Pandalandia began to gossip about who would be capable of such a horrible concoction, and who would want to commit such a heinous crime. The police began to investigate the suspects and draw up a list of people who had the motive for killing the innocent panda. As their investigation went on, it was eventually revealed that the murderer of the pandas was actually a poacher. He wanted to capture pandas and sell them on the black market, and had felt that if there were fewer and fewer of them, he would be able to get a better price for his captures. He had gone so far as to devise a toxin that would get the job done without leaving any trace of his involvement. The poacher was quickly arrested and put away for this heinous crime, but the people of Pandalandia still shuddered to think that something so terrible had happened to one of their beloved pandas. The story of Panda's murder will eventually spread throughout the region, and it became a cautionary tale for all to remember, so that poachers and other criminals would think twice before trying something similar in the future. The moral of this story was clear. No one was above the law, and if you were to commit a crime, it would not be tolerated. Justice for the panda. What? Why are we spamming links in chat? Mod, take care of that.
what?
Okay,
What?
take care of the links. I don't want links in there.
There's no links.
You don't see links? The big plot hole. Alright. You have to change to all messages. Alright, what is our next plot? We should make it something topical. Something that will predict the future. Okay, you want me to...
Oh, yeah.
Nate, this is for you. A paradox? Nate wants this: a priest is faced with an inconvenient truth about his god.
Do it.
Alright. We are riding. I like the scary stuff. Okay, Nate, this one's for you. Reverend Milton had devoted his life to serving God, but he suddenly found himself in a state of theological confusion. For years he had been certain he knew what his faith meant and who God was. But one day he was met with an inconvenient truth that had been hidden from him for so long. He heard a voice coming from the heavens, and it told him that the God he worshipped was not real. Stunned, Reverend Milton dropped to his knees and contemplated what he heard. It didn't seem to make sense. Was his entire life based on a lie? He decided if he were to continue to lead as a priest, he must learn the truth of his divine being. Reverend Milton studied long and hard and eventually found a way to reconcile what he had heard with what he had believed to be true. He realized that the God he'd worshipped wasn't real, but the divine being he'd come to know was real. He could still operate as a priest, just not as one for his old God. He amended his views, determined to spread the real truths of the divine with those who'd listen. He used his newfound knowledge to bring light to those speaking the paths shown by the one true God. From that day on, Reverend Milton preached on a different message, one of love and acceptance of all. He told his congregation that no one was truly alone, and that this true God was always with them. The inconvenient truth was no longer one of confusion and disbelief, but one of release, love, and belonging. My goodness, I was not expecting it to come up with that. Alright, I'm ready for another one, chat. Something to feed the AI. Dang, they even have a content generator. Never been so hot for an AI in my life. Give me something else, chat. Something new. Give me something scary to read. A Pokemon horror story? The Killer Pikachu. Okay. Looks like we gotta wait. I choose you, Pikachu. Nate, Pikachu has a knife now. That's not a good idea, Nate. I'll be fine. I'm not defenseless. Alright, here we go. Oh my lord. Okay. The Killer Pikachu. The small town of Springvale was a peaceful village tucked away in the middle of nowhere. It had been that way for generations, and nothing ever seemed to change until one summer day. One of the local kids was playing in a nearby forest when he heard a particular sound echoing from the distance. Fascinated, he followed the strange little noise until he stumbled upon a clearing. There in the middle of the clearing there was an enormous Pikachu, glaring at him with its unnatural red eyes. The boy immediately ran away, but quickly realized that he had made a mistake. The Pikachu was following him. It stayed just out of sight, but it seemed to be getting closer and closer with each passing moment. Terrified, the boy ran all the way back home, but the Pikachu was still following him. When he eventually reached its home, he was shocked to find the Pikachu standing at his doorstep. This time, the Pikachu acted even more threatening, roaring in a menacing way and sparking electricity from its body. The boy ran into his home and quickly shut the door. But the Pikachu smashed right through the door. It started chasing the boy around the house, cornering him and sparking electricity at him. Finally, after a few minutes, it stopped chasing him and left. That day, the whole town of Springvale quickly became a living nightmare. No one knew why, but suddenly a killer Pikachu was on the loose, and it seemed to be targeting children. It was as if it had a vendetta against them, and it wanted them all dead. Parents were frantic, and children were terrified. Despite the best efforts of the police, no one could ever seem to catch the killer Pikachu. Years went by, and the killer Pikachu continued to terrorize the town. Eventually, it faded into the shadows of a legend, until one day, it seemed to vanish completely. No one ever knew what became of the killer Pikachu, and the town slowly returned to its peaceful state. But to this day, some still swear that the killer Pikachu in the shadows at night, ready to take vengeance once again. It got me once Pikachu sparked up at the kid. That part made me laugh. That one was funny. Let's see. What can we come up with now? Peaceful for now. Killer Tofu. So I have the fan fiction love story between Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, which ends bad. I wonder if the more we feed in it, the more it will tailor. I'm sure it is that way. Mark and Jack had always been close friends. They were two of the most famous gamers in the world, and their mutual adoration and friendship seemed to know no bounds. The pair thought that the next logical step would have been to give their relationship a chance. To the surprise of both of them, they soon found themselves madly in love. Of course, there were small issues that arose from time to time, but their strong connection seemed to hold them together. Unfortunately, the bloom was soon off the rose as Mark's fame started consuming him. His entire world became about himself and his stream, leaving Jack feeling left out. Realizing that the two were going in two two totally different directions, Jack made the decision to break off the relationship. This devastated Mark, and although Jack realized he had made a mistake, he could not bring himself to take back. Both of them adjusted to living a life of heartache and sadness. They kept their distance from each other, and their last chance of true happiness was seemingly gone forever. Oh my god. So sad. So true, too. Say Mark was consumed with his fame. There is literal fan fiction like this, though. Put in the killer rank smells. I'm trying to think of something else. People wanted the Marky OnlyFans. They did want the Marky OnlyFans. Let's ask AI what was really in there, because I never saw it. He's a handsome fella. Indeed he is. We're gonna ask AI to find out for us. We're gonna do a little bit of digging. Ooh. Maybe this was not what I wanted. We're going to get rid of this one. I can read this in the meantime. Basically, it took horror and took it to a whole nother level. Mark was always fascinated with the horror in the macabre, which is why he found comfort in creating an OnlyFans account filled with horror pictures and videos. When Mark first opened the account, he received a lot of praise for his content, and he even made a few fans who actively support his work. Little did Mark know that there was an underlying force manipulating his followers. It started innocently enough, with the occasional request for permission to repost his pictures on their own page. But soon the request became a little more strange. The type of request includes zooming in on certain parts of his pictures, requesting access to the raw files, and asking numerous questions about what was really inside his pictures. At first, Mark was happy to oblige. He figured it was all part of the horror business, and after a while, though, something began to feel off. He started receiving strange messages from these supposed fans, talking about secrets and dark secrets that couldn't be found if simply unlocking the files. At first, Mark ignored it, believing it to be nothing more than the unusual online trolls. The usual online trolls. But over time, the messages became more menacing and even sinister in nature. Finally, Mark decided to investigate further. He unlocked the raw files, and to his horror, he found out what his fans had really been after all along. Inside the scary pictures, Mark had unknowingly captured images of ghostly apparitions and malevolent spirits. The forces he had inadvertently unleashed were far worse than he ever had managed. Mark quickly deleted his OnlyFans account and all its images in a panic frenzy. He vowed to never dabble in horror photography ever again, knowing too well how dangerous it could be to play in such dark places. What in the world? What in the world? I did not know. Watch this in VR mode. Oof. So did Wendy. Ugh. What are your guys's? What's a good? Another good one. What should we do next? A computer virus jumps to humans. Ah. Alright, we're writing. That's a good one, Nate. I think the Pikachu one was hilarious. And the panda one. Queenie needs to send more suggestions. Her suggestions are pretty funny. Okay. Once upon a time, in a world of computers and robots, a small team of scientists created a new virus to fight against computer viruses. They called this virus the Virus Defender. The virus was designed to detect and destroy any computer virus it encountered. Everyone was excited by the potential that this had for fighting computer viruses. However, what no one expected was that the virus had a darker purpose, the ability to transfer itself to humans. When the virus was released into the internet, it began quickly spreading across the globe. Soon it had infected thousands of computers in over a dozen countries. As the virus spread, people began to become infected as well. The virus was able to infect humans through contact with an infected computer. At first, the virus did not seem to harm the infected humans, but soon reports began to surface that some of the infected humans were displaying unusual and dangerous behaviors. All these symptoms seemed to point to an infection of the Virus Defender virus. It soon became clear that the virus had mutated to become much more dangerous than the scientists had intended it to be. Even worse, they had no idea how it was able to transfer itself to humans. The virus spread far and wide. Governments scrambled to contain it, but they were unsuccessful. In the end, the virus spread to every corner of the globe. Some countries managed to contain the virus while others were disseminated by it. The virus eventually died out as humans developed vaccines and treatments to protect them from it, but the damage was done. The virus had shown the world just how dangerous a computer virus could be if it was able to transfer itself to humans. From that day forward, humans were much more aware of the dangers of the computer viruses and took extra precautions to protect themselves from it. What in the world? Windows Defender? Yeah. How all Black Mirror episodes are started? I guess. I mean that's pretty much a Black Mirror episode. This AI is planning its every move. It is very accurate. I mean, if you want to know the future, just plug it in. Don't give it any ideas. Yeah. Alright, I got a new prompt. Furries. What about furries, though? It is a controversial one. But we gotta see what the AI will do with furries. What if we just do furries and that's it? Are you really streaming again today? Yes, I am streaming again today, Crow. How are you? Today we are streaming AI written stories. We are putting prompts in here and it is writing a story about it and I will read the story. So I appreciate suggestions. I'm curious what it will do with just furries. I assume that's how you spell furries. Furry? Let's see. Let's see if it likes it or if we need to. Don't give me that. Fine, we will click all the stairs. Too many requests. Okay, we gotta wait a second. Put in how AI will take the world. That's a good one. Crow, give me your suggestions. Because these stories get real weird. Especially if it's interesting topics. Like earlier, Queenie suggested Killer Pikachu. It was pretty hilarious. And Nate said how a virus would spread to humans, and the story was basically about we made a virus to kill all computer viruses. God, it's gonna make me do a matching game. Okay. Identical twins that are raised as one person with one name and one identity. Ooh. Oh God. Okay, are you ready, guys? Samuel was an old young man. Growing up, he always had felt an almost tangible connection with animals. He could communicate with them in a subtle way that nobody else seemed to understand. It wasn't until he was in his late teens that he began to experience a much stronger bond with furry creatures. Every night he felt as if he were becoming something else entirely. His arms and legs felt as if they were transforming, growing thick fur and a tail. When Samuel finally mustered up the courage to look in the mirror, sure enough, he had transformed into a large black bear. Not knowing what else to do, he ran away from his home and out the woods. There he felt a deeper connection still with the other animals in his new form. Days merged into weeks, and weeks into months, until one day he found himself in front of a small cabin in the woods, deep in the woods. The old man who lived in the cabin greeted him warmly and immediately seemed to understand what had happened. He explained to Samuel that he was one of the few people that had the power to shapeshift, and that he had been blessed with this gift by the gods. From then on, the old man taught Samuel how to use his gifts responsibly, and showed them how to make the most of the world around him. Every night, Samuel would sneak off into the woods and transform into his bear shape, exploring the world in a way that nobody else could understand. He would often return to his human form in the early morning, but he would take away a new understanding of the beauty of the natural world and the importance of taking good care of it. Despite the feelings of isolation, Samuel learned to make the most of his gift, learning to balance his human and bear sides to become the best version of himself. That's what it came up with, furry. Some kid who could transform into a bear. Alright, let's time to do crows. Okay, we got it. We're writing a story about identical twins. The furry one didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was going to be. Probably because I didn't put enough in. Shanna and Toby had been identical twins since the day they were born. Growing up, their parents had just one name for the two of them, Shobi. Shobi. In their early years, the twins were dressed identically and treated as one person, and even had their photographs taken together so that it was hard to tell that there were two of them. As the twins grew older, their parents still maintained the fiction that they were only one child. And even when talking to the family and friends, the twins were referenced to as Shobi and had the charade that they were one entity was maintained. It was so effective that while the twins had developed many separate interests, they were often asked why they did nothing apart, as if they were the same person. When the twins were sent to school, they encountered their first major challenge. They were expected to attend class as two separate individuals, and week by week, a growing sense of discomfort and confusion descended upon them, as they faced strangers who saw them as two separate people, despite the fact that they had been raised as one. They now had to somehow exist as two. It was hard, but over time the twins adjusted and grew accustomed to their new way of life. Even though they had been raised as one, with one name and identity, they were determined to carve out their own separate paths in life. They would remain Shobi to their family, but to the world they would remain Shanna and Toby. Yes, they were identical twins, but now they were two separate individuals at the same time. Both two people, yet also one. Wow. Charade. They all laughed as he turned around. Slowly, they said, "You ain't welcome around here anymore. You might as well go." He wiped the blood from his face and slowly came back to his knees. He said, "I'll be back." Are you writing your own story, Rank? Get. Boss is trying to fight me for some reason. Let's do one more story. But we gotta make it creepy. The twins one was creepy, Crow. A little bit. it was also kind of good. They even though their parents raised them as Shobi, they learned to become two different people, but still one. Ugh. Any more suggestions from chat? Kind of want to raise identical twins as one person someday, just to see what would happen. Crow, that's messed up. Psychologically? Yeah, that would be messed up. Let's see, what else should we do? Their pronouns would literally be they, them. Yes, they would, Crow. Let's see. Are you treating this chat as your text editor? What do you mean my text editor?
Oh, that's not smells.
Oh, you're talking about rank smells. I'm not sure. He's going off. Queenie ban. I have no clue. It looks like he's typing his own story. Why? What are you doing? What are you doing, bud?
He's just remixing. We're the side show.
He is. He is remixing. Okay, what do you think about this? A woman who identifies as a dog finds God. What is he doing? This is gonna be our last one. Select the cars. Select the cars. Select the cars. Okay. A woman who identifies as God, as a dog, finds God. That really gets mixed up in your brain. D-O-G, G-O-D. All right. Jill had felt like a dog her entire life, not just in her mannerisms or her habits, but deep in her soul. Even though she found it strange, she had never felt wrong. It just felt right. And Jill had come to terms with it, keeping it mostly to herself. But lately she yearned for something else. One day Jill decided to take a walk in the nearby park, hoping to find some sort of answers. As she walked around, she could feel something strange in the air. Closing her eyes and taking a deep breath in, she knew she was not alone. That's when she heard a voice. "Child, why do you walk around in this park like a dog?" Hold on, I didn't do my God voice. Child, why do you walk in this park like a dog? Joe opened her eyes and saw no one. Who is there? She called out into the park, but there was no response. Child, I am here. Jill looked around, puzzled. Then suddenly a light appeared in front of her. She could make out a figure that she immediately knew was God. Why did you come here? Oh, wait. Why did you come here? He asked her. Jill didn't have to think twice. She answered honestly, knowing that God would understand. I felt like I'm a dog. I feel like I'm a dog. God nodded, understanding her. The feeling of being a dog is something that I have given you because I love you. You are more than a dog. You are my child. And if you come to me, I will show you how to use your canine identity for good. Jill felt a peace as she had never known before. She stayed with God for a few more moments before returning home. On her way back, she felt something new in her soul. It was faith. Now she knows that no matter how much of a dog she feels like, she can always turn to God and use her canine identity to good in the world around her. So basically, she turns into a superwoman with dog powers because God inspired her. We're not reading that edgelord copy pasta. Crow, did you hear the story? I can't believe that part. Child, what are you doing here? Why do you walk around this park like a dog? We basically need to like remix TLC show titles in here. Like, woman who can't stop eating mattresses. If I can spell mattresses. Matrices? 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 That's matrices. How do you spell mattresses? Crow, help. Help me, Crow. Crow, help. Father, help. Crow, help. Help me, Crow. You're not helping, Nate. Thank you. Thank you, Crow. Crow to the rescue. Woman who can't stop eating mattresses finds love. Okay, you ready? This is going to be amazing. First, we're going to have to click all the buses. That's not a bus, that's a van. Mother. Okay, we gotta wait for 50 seconds. Caw! I imagine Crow just pops in like a superhero. He is the spelling hero. Bossy, what are you doing? Why do you bother? Why don't you come here, huh? You gonna bother me? You come here. There you go. No bother. Okay, we're good now. Gonna have to do the robot again. Now we got a boy on a bicycle. Why? I am determined to do this. Def doing the dog cam, good idea. Yeah, it is a good idea. You just have to probably get another cam or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Boss always lays down on the side over here. Right now he's wandering around. Doing random stuff. Sniffing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me do this now. There we go, it's writing now. Sniffing butts? No, not sniffing butts. There's no butts to be sniffed. He's sniffing a coat. Now he's coming over here. I think he's going to his little cave again. Yep, he's in his cave. Okay. This will be the last one for tonight. And it better be a good one. Kara padded softly down the hallway of her apartment building, hoping no one could hear her. Even though it was 2 in the morning and everyone was likely asleep, she was always paranoid. Not that anyone was likely to know, but similar to a character from the novel The Girl Who Ate Everything, who ate everywhere. Kara was a woman who just couldn't help but eat mattresses. Although it was something she tried to deny and keep to herself, most nights she couldn't resist the urge to pull her mattress from her bedroom and eat it every fiber from the top down. Kara had been dealing with this phenomenon since she was a little girl, but she had never revealed it to anyone. It was embarrassing, and she normally just ignored the nagging urge. But tonight felt different. As she dragged her mattress into the living room, she looked around, suddenly self-conscious and more aware than ever of the particular noises she was making. To her surprise, she looked up to see a figure in the shadows. A young man with dark hair and kind eyes was standing there, watching her. She didn't know what to do, so she just stopped and looked back at him, hoping he wasn't appalled by what he saw. Surprisingly, he just smiled and stepped out into the darkness. "I know what you're doing," he said, "and it's okay." Kara was shocked. She didn't know what to say. Tentatively, she stepped closer to him, unsure of what to do. "My name is Logan," he said, extending his hand. "I'm sorry if I scared you." Kara shook his hand, not knowing what to say. "It's all right," Logan said. "I get it. I understand the struggle of not being able to control certain urges. It's a part of who you are, and I accept that." Kara couldn't believe what she was hearing. This man wasn't running away or trying to judge her. He was accepting her for who she was and for what she was doing. Feeling overwhelmed with gratitude, she could only mutter a thank you. That night, Logan and Kara talked late into the evening, discovering a common bond in their shared experience. Over time, Kara found that she was free to be herself around Logan. And for the first time, she felt able to accept and embrace the particularities that made her unique. Logan eventually asked Kara on a date, and the two fell in love. Soon, Kara no longer felt the need to eat mattresses, as she found comfort and security in the love she found with Logan. Years later, the two were still together, supporting and encouraging each other through the good times and bad. Wow, what an inspiring story. Just a woman who loved to eat mattresses, and a man who didn't judge her for that. I think we can all take a good lesson away from this, okay? When you see somebody eating a mattress and they're just scarfing that sucker down, just a mattress, don't judge them, okay? Don't judge them. You might fall in love with them. Beautiful. It's very beautiful, Hudson. This is honestly the best if you just put in TLC like show names or like TLC things. And it just comes up with like the best stories. Let's see, how long have I been streaming for? How much more of this do I have? Oh, this is almost up. Well, Hudson, since you just joined, do you want one more? Don't judge a don't judge a book by its diet. That's right. Should we do one more, Hudson? Hudson, do you have one that we should do? Or should we do another TLC one? Yes, one more please. Okay. 2 lives today. Hey, Mysterious Channel. Yeah, I just spur the moment thing to do. Okay, we're going to go to YouTube and we will find I like Cinnamon Toast Ken has some funny stuff. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. He does all the funny TLC stuff. Ooh, the Liver King? Thriller story about stepping on a Lego at 2 a.m. that one would be a good one. The Liver King stepping on a Lego. A story about how the Liver King, a man who loved to eat meat, reluctantly tried a broccoli. Or stepped on a Lego. Should we do stepped on a Lego? That's deep? Okay. Because he's gonna struggle to eat that broccoli. Because he doesn't eat plants. He only eats meat. Ugh, it's gotta do this to me again. We'll do it soon. Gotta wait 44 seconds. "32 seconds. 30 seconds. 29. 20. 25. We're almost there. Almost to the AI story. Ten. Liked the stream for one more. Oh, thank you, Hudson. Yes, we like the stream for one more. This is the Liver King facing his biggest challenge yet. Yes, it is. Bicicletas? Come on, write for me. Don't give me an error. Okay, it's writing. Alright, it is here. Once upon a time, there was a man who loved to eat raw meat. He prided himself on never trying anything else and never wanting to. He was known as the Liver King. One day, a curious thing happened. A friend visited the Liver King with a long green stem in their hand. They told the king that this stem was in fact a magical vegetable known as broccoli. The Liver King was surprised and intrigued. Never had seen such a thing before. The friend convinced him to try it, saying that it was delicious and that it was good for his health. The Liver King knew it was wrong to go against his own customs, but he was so curious that he reluctantly agreed. He took a slow bite of the seemingly magical vegetable. Much to the Liver King's surprise, it was surprisingly delicious. He found himself enjoying the taste and the texture, and soon began eating it more and more. The Liver King soon made the magical vegetable a staple in his meals, leading to a healthier and overall better days. He had the chance to try new things and experience something totally new. The moral of the story is that you'll never know what you'll like unless you give it a chance. Even the Liver King himself found out that broccoli wasn't so bad after all. Oh, so wholesome. And on that note, I think that that'll do it for this stream. We left it on such a wholesome note. The Liver King finally found out that broccoli can be good. And good for you. And I guess we'll just leave. Everybody eat your broccoli, okay? Eat your broccoli. Okay.